It is astounding how close our time is to the conditions that led to the rise of Julius Caesar in Rome. Rome was being fleeced by a greedy elite called the Optimates, who were monopolizing land with usury and slave labor. These elites were migrating huge volumes of slaves to work the fields for low wages. Does this sound familiar? This drove down the price of labor and ended up pushing native Romans out of work and off their land. The elites would buy up these vacant family farms and move more slaves onto them. These same elites would then give out loans to these broke Romans to help them set up a new life in the city, which would put them into debt slavery. The city of Rome itself swelled up with a huge disgruntled cast of poor veterans, native Romans, and recently migrated slaves. Does this sound familiar? These formed a jaded undercaste, while the elites lived in slave-supported luxury. The Roman soldiers would go abroad and risk their lives conquering territory for Rome in the hope of making it, only to get underpaid. And then they would come back to find their families replaced by slaves from the place they just conquered. Does this sound familiar? Caesar was one of these elites who sided with the native Romans. He was known as a populist. He used the people as a force to push back against the elites and drive through reforms that limited this debt slavery. Through decades of ruthless civil war, he came out the winner, but was infamously assassinated by the elites for subverting their grip on Rome.